Have you ever noticed how, in the middle of chaos, some people just don't break? Sirens wail, headlines scream, uncertainty hangs in the air like thick fog. And yet there's always that person who moves steadily, speaks calmly, and somehow keeps everyone else grounded. You might assume they're fearless, emotionless, built differently, but psychology tells a very different story. Mental strength during war isn't about feeling nothing. It's about feeling everything and still choosing how to respond. Imagine this. The power cuts out. Your phone battery is low. Rumors are flying faster than facts. Your body is buzzing with adrenaline like you've had 10 cups of chai on an empty stomach. Your brain wants to panic. That's not weakness. That's biology. Your nervous system is designed to detect danger and sound the alarm. Heart rate up, muscles tense, thoughts racing. It's your ancient survival wiring doing its job. But then there's someone nearby who takes a slow breath. They light a candle, they check on others, they speak gently, not dramatic, not frozen, just steady. And you wonder, how? Here's the surprising part. Mentally strong people in wartime don't have calmer brains. They have better relationships with their brains. Under extreme stress, the emotional center of the brain, the amygdala, goes into overdrive. It's like a smoke detector that can't tell the difference between burnt toast and a house fire. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels dangerous. Meanwhile, the rational part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, the part that plans, reasons, and says, "Let's think this through," struggles to stay online. Mental strength is what happens when someone learns to keep that rational system connected even while alarms are blaring. It's not don't feel fear, it's feel fear without letting it drive. Think of it like being in the passenger seat with a panicking driver. Most people let fear grab the steering wheel. Mentally strong people don't throw fear out of the car. They just gently take control of the wheel. This ability often comes from something psychologists call emotional regulation, a fancy term for a very human skill. Noticing what you feel without being swallowed by it. You've probably done this before without realizing. Maybe during an exam or a family emergency. Your heart was pounding, but you still functioned. You still made decisions. You still showed up. That's regulation. That's strength. Now magnify that to wartime conditions. Studies on civilians and soldiers in prolonged conflict show something fascinating. The people who cope best aren't the most optimistic or the toughest in a stereotypical sense. They're the ones who create small islands of control inside uncontrollable situations. They keep routines. They make tea at the same time each morning. They fold blankets. They check on neighbors. They pray. They write. They clean. They tell stories to children. These tiny actions seem ordinary, almost trivial. But psychologically, they're powerful. Routine tells the brain, life still exists beyond danger. It restores a sense of agency, the feeling that your actions still matter. And agency is oxygen for the human mind. Without it, people feel helpless. With it, they endure. There's also meaning. This one goes deep. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps, wrote that humans can endure almost any how if they have a why. People who stay mentally strong during war often attach purpose to their pain, protecting family, serving community, preserving culture, supporting others, documenting truth, faith, duty, love. Meaning transforms suffering from random cruelty into sacrifice with direction. Pain without meaning crushes. Pain with meaning strengthens. You see this in parents who stay composed for their children even when they're terrified inside. In medics who keep working through exhaustion. In volunteers distributing food with tired smiles. Their nervous systems are stressed like everyone else's, but purpose steadies their mind. Another quiet trait of mental strength is flexible thinking. Rigid minds shatter under pressure. Flexible minds bend. If someone believes things must go as planned, crisis destroys them. But if they think plans change, I'll adapt, Their brain shifts into problem-solving mode instead of panic mode. Flexibility turns "this is the end" into "this is hard, but what's next?" It's the psychological difference between drowning and swimming in rough water. Same storm, different response. And here's something beautifully human. Strong people lean on others. We often imagine mental strength as independence. Lone wolves, silent endurance. But research on resilience shows the opposite. Social connection is the strongest psychological shield in crisis. Talking reduces stress hormones. Shared emotion reduces isolation. Community spreads emotional weight across many shoulders. When people gather, share food, exchange stories, or even sit in silence together, their nervous systems synchronize. Safety becomes collective. Hope becomes shared. Strength multiplies. There's also the power of attention. Where mentally strong people place their focus changes their emotional reality. If you stare only at destruction, your brain stays in threat mode. If you notice helpers, small victories, human kindness, your brain releases chemicals linked to safety and bonding. This isn't denial, it's balanced awareness. Like adjusting a camera lens. Same scene, different focus, and the brain responds to what you repeatedly focus on. Neural pathways strengthen where attention goes. That's neuroplasticity, your brain rewiring itself based on experience. So choosing where to look is choosing how your brain adapts. Another powerful factor is acceptance, not passive surrender, clear-eyed acknowledgement. This is happening. I don't like it, but I can face it. Acceptance stops the exhausting mental fight against reality. Resistance drains energy. Acceptance frees it. It's like being caught in heavy rain. You can scream at the sky, or you can open an umbrella and keep walking. Mentally strong people carry umbrellas. They also allow emotion. This part surprises many people. Strength is not emotional numbness. Suppressing fear, grief, or anger actually increases stress long term. Emotions that are buried don't disappear. They leak out as anxiety, irritability, or burnout. Strong people feel. They cry. They worry. They talk. They process. But they don't build homes inside their pain. Emotions visit. They don't permanently move in. There's wisdom in that. Feel fully. Move forward gently. And then there's perspective. Zoomed in, war feels endless, suffocating, permanent. Zoomed out, history shows cycles, human survival, reconstruction, recovery, growth after devastation. Perspective doesn't erase pain, it contextualizes it, like looking at a storm from space. Still powerful, but not infinite. Strong minds learn to zoom out. They remind themselves, this moment is not my entire story. And maybe the most overlooked trait of mental strength is compassion, for others and for oneself. Self-compassion reduces shame and emotional overload. It replaces, "I'm weak for feeling this," with, "anyone would struggle here." That shift calms the nervous system. It makes resilience sustainable, because you can't bully yourself into strength, but you can support yourself into it. So when you see someone steady during wartime, you're not seeing a fearless superhero. You're seeing emotional regulation, meaning-making, flexible thinking, connection, intentional focus, acceptance, healthy expression, perspective, compassion. You're seeing a human being using psychological tools, sometimes consciously, sometimes instinctively, to survive the unimaginable. And here's the part that matters most. These aren't rare traits gifted to a lucky few. They're learnable patterns of mind. Your brain is capable of them. Your habits can build them. Your mindset can grow them. Mental strength isn't a personality type. It's a practice. Small daily choices shape it long before crisis arrives. How you handle stress. How you talk to yourself. How you connect with others. How you find meaning, how you adapt when plans fail, how you breathe when anxiety rises. Resilience is built quietly, then revealed loudly when life gets hard. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by global conflict, if the news weighs on your chest, if uncertainty makes your thoughts spiral, you're not broken, you're human. And within that, humanity is the same psychological machinery that has carried people through the darkest chapters of history. Strength doesn't mean you don't shake, it means you keep standing anyway. Maybe today that looks like checking on someone you care about, turning off the news for a while, taking one steady breath, sticking to a simple routine, being gentle with your mind, small acts, powerful effects, because mental strength during war, or any crisis, isn't loud, it's quiet, repeated, and the more you understand your mind, the more you realize you're stronger than you think. If this helped you see resilience in a new way, reflect on it, share your thoughts, and stick around. There's a lot more about the human mind that makes surviving hard times possible.